game is, yes, the guard play of White and Burton, but a bigger thing is the post players. We're talking about the post players this early in the game. Who can dominate in the paint with Kansas' size? Can Notre Dame match up with their physicality?
It's a Notre Dame team that's off to a 4-1 start. That one loss was by a single point at Ohio State. No shame in that. And again, Kansas, their 2 losses against North Carolina and Duke. Here is Marcus Burton, averaging right around 20 a game. Late in the shot clock. Inside against Badunga, and he got it over the big fella.
And it's not by chance that the ball finds the hands of Burton. He is there steadying. He steadies the ship quite often, able to get to his spot and bounce off a much bigger defender.
Second team all-conference last year, now a junior is Burton. He is a leader for Micah Shrewsbury. Here's Badunga. Going to work in the post against Tout. And Tout, good defense.
And a big key for Kansas. They got to keep Badunga out of foul trouble.
Well, they lost track of Garrett Sundra. He got right to the rim.
As Badunga and Kansas doesn't get back in transition defense, but they got to keep Badunga out of foul trouble. When he went out in the first half against Duke, Duke went on a 21-7 run.
Yeah, Bill Self talked about the importance of keeping number 40 on the floor. Here he is, getting to that left hand and scoring it. He's such an improved player from a year ago when he played behind Hunter Dickinson. Notre Dame, Micah Shrewsbury, one of the slowest tempo teams. They like to be very methodic on offense.
And at times as a defender, you get bored guarding, and Notre Dame will get some good looks off of that. Obviously, Shrewsbury's shooting really well to start this season, but Notre Dame will rock you to sleep as Trey White picks up where he left off against Duke. I'm telling you, you know, Darren Peterson, it's unfortunate he's out, but on full displays, a backcourt that could be dangerous.
And as you said, maybe down the road, not having Darren Peterson for these games could end up helping Kansas.
Yeah, well, it forces guys to step up, make plays, and if you want to go far in March and April, you definitely need other guys other than Peterson to be able to score.
They did announce that Peterson will not play in any of the 3 games here in Vegas. He's here, but on the bench for the Jayhawks. Badunga! Pirouette, got it back. He missed that as well. Here's the coach's son, Braden Shrewsbury. As Candace said, sharpshooter from the outside. Burton drops it off for Tout. There's Shrewsbury. That is what he can do.
And on full display is good to great. If you want an example of good to great, Burton breaks down the teeth of the defense, gets it to Tout. He doesn't take the shot, throws it out. Shrewsbury steps into a 3. That was beautiful basketball missing.
Ooh, Sundra ran hard into the shoulder of Cole Rosario.
Foul number 7, Cole Rosario.
You can talk about it, but to be about it on offense, the ball touches both sides of the floor, gets into the paint. Tout doesn't take a contested layup, sprays it out. Shrewsbury steps into an easy 3. That's why Notre Dame is shooting 40% from 3 when it comes from inside out. That's like a practice shot.
Shrewsbury is the leader in that category. Here he is again. Talented freshman Harrelson, and he's going to go to the line.
And talented freshman he is, 6'7". McDonald's All-American consensus top 5. One of the highest recruits for Coach Shrewsbury. It's been interesting to watch him develop early in the season. You know, you're going to see the freshman mistakes, but in this tournament, I think it's a great measuring stick for what he has to work on. Obviously, physicality, playing with pace, under control, not rushing. Those are all things that are freshman, right?
Yep.
You got to learn it.
Well, and there's so many great freshmen in the country this year that Harrelson a bit overlooked, but Micah Shrewsbury said, this kid is special. Melvin Council Jr. gives it up. Rosario has it deflected. Trey White gets in the lane. And the foul is going to go against the big man, Carson Tout, to send us to our first timeout. Notre Dame coming out with some energy, a lot of effort, and a 4-point lead.
Hey guys, there's so much turnover right now in college basketball. Kansas is no different. So the next step is, how do you bring all these new guys together as a team? Well, Trey White is that guy for Kansas. He's been their connector so far this season. He told me it's a role he takes really seriously. He said he's played with some really good programs over his career. And he said the common denominator for him with those programs was cohesion. And he said in today's climate, there's got to be a bridge that unites older guys, younger guys, and the new guys. And despite being a transfer, White, again, is that glue. He says developing that chemistry is going to be critical for them for winning. He's fully embracing the challenge of bringing the team together, guys.
And he has bounced around a bit from USC to Louisville to Illinois, and now finishing his career at Kansas. And as we said, with Darren Peterson out with that hamstring injury, there he is, not going to play in Vegas. They need more from number 3.
Yes, and you lean on his experience and different styles and different ability to play different positions, guard different positions. I think the thing, yes, I was impressed with the 22 points against Duke, but I was most impressed with the 9 rebounds. Especially as a big, you want your guards to come in and help you out every now and again.
And he showed he can do it. Here's Burton off the bounce, right at Tiller.
And Tiller taking the challenge, but as a post player, you're taught to take away that first pull-up jump shot, but Burton using his speed and craftiness. He's 6 foot.
And that might be standing on a phone book. I mean, he's also
listed at
6 he's listed 6 foot and 190 pounds. I think he might be a little less than that, but he is fearless. Double team on Tiller.
And for this Kansas offense, they need Rosario and they need Council Jr. to open it up from beyond the arc to give some space to these big fellas down low.
Just got it off before the clock, but no bucket. Harrelson a little out of control. It will stay with Notre Dame.
And right here, Burton taking on the challenge, getting into the teeth of the defense, not being afraid of a much bigger Tiller. Watch this. He's able to use his body. Tiller tries to time it. Burton's just too crafty. He's got the floater game. He's got the drive layup, the pull-up step back. We've seen that on full display this early in the first half.
And Micah Shrewsbury said he is a bucket getter. He had 25 Wednesday in their win against Bellarmine.
And again, Kansas switching these pick and rolls with their bigs.
Ooh, lost his footing. Pulls up. Hits the deck. Tiller grabs it. Council so quick in transition. Badunga. Yes, with the left.
And Badunga, we call that a textbook buddy pass, post to post. Badunga slams it home. It's a textbook rim run.
That's something Micah Shrewsbury said he was worried about, facing the combination of Tiller and Badunga. Daunting task. Serta, he's a three-point shooter off the bench, but this time he drives it, and he's going to draw the foul on the big man Badunga.
And sometimes your three-point shot opens up that drive. Right here, Badunga, great seal. Powerful slam dunk. Coach Self's got to be happy at that rim run. Look at this. This is textbook. This is like a drill that you run at shoot around.
He was using that Badunga dunk in there, right? Creating some space. I just couldn't resist.
I like that.
Apologies in advance.
I like that.
My parents are watching. They don't own me. He picks up his first foul. That'll be something to watch because Bill Self a little worried about the foul troubles that Badunga and Tiller have picked up early in the season. Badunga dribble handoff to Council. On the baseline, 15-footer is pure for Bryson Tiller.
We say paint to great. Council Jr. getting the assist, getting to the paint, spraying out to Tiller. That was nice offense on that end.
Council is the initiator of that offense, number 14 in white, almost 6 assists a game.
And the thing about these two teams that sticks out early, they're not going to take tough contested shots at the beginning of shot clock. They're going to make your defense work as Badunga gets the monster block.
He can do that. 6'10" native of the Congo, swatting it right out of bounds.
And Badunga Tiller, it's like a my turn, your turn thing. They're averaging 6.5 blocks on the year. Times it perfectly. It's an advantage to be a left-handed shot blocker. They teach you to block with your left hand, but you don't always do that. Your dominant hand stands out. Obviously, Badunga mastering that.
His first, team second.
Foul on Jai. Our first game here today at this arena. It was all Tennessee. They just raced away from Rutgers early. This one already has a much different feel to it. Council gets to his spot and gets the bounce.
And again, Trey White subs out. They put the ball in Council Jr.'s hands, and he's able to take advantage, get into the paint.
Another guy with so much experience, a fifth-year senior in Council. Now Burton, he's got the much taller Badunga on him. Going to take him outside. A rebound to Tiller.
And what a luxury to have, to be okay switching pick and rolls like Kansas, taking your big away from the basket, because guess what? You got another one that can defend the paint.
And Tiller can step out and hit that three. Sir Muhammad slips it into Jai, and he is fouled. And if that's on Tiller, and it is, he now has 2. So what did we talk about? Tiller with 2, Badunga has 1, and we haven't even played 8 minutes.
And that had to be a conversation that Coach Shrewsbury told his guys. You got to get to the paint. Kansas's bigs are foul prone. They will go for pump fakes, and now here we're looking 8 minutes into the game with Tiller with 2 fouls.
Senior Keba Jai, 2 shots. TNT Sports coverage of the Players Era is presented by Sam's Club. Join Sam's Club today. Celebrate the season of yes and sick. Good three-point shooter is Dawson. And remember, they're already without their star Darren Peterson. White driving on Tout. And lost it in the air. Deflected, they say, by Notre Dame.
And Notre Dame on that possession. Great half-court defense, taking away the penetration and making it tough for White getting to the rack. White lived in the rack in that first half against Duke. Whether it was getting in there, getting fouled, finishing, pull-ups. He was in his bag against Duke in the first half.
Well, Kansas, again, they were without Darren Peterson that game. They kept that close to the end. There are no moral victories. Bill Self wanted to win, but I think there was a lot to learn for the Jayhawks.
It's also difficult as a team when you're scouting against Kansas and you're used to talking about Darren Peterson for him to not play.
And now this guy moves up to the top of the scouting report, Trey White. Largest lead, 8 points right now for the Jayhawks. Harrelson right to the rim.
And I love that drive. We talk about going east and west to set up your north-south, but straight line drivers off the catch. Right here, this young fella taking on contact head to rim. It was going to be 2 points and the foul, or just the foul, the way that he drove on that possession.
They say he's put on about 15 pounds of muscle since he got on campus this summer. He's an Indiana kid from outside of Indianapolis. Cannot complete the three-point play.
Tiller back in with those 2 fouls. Coach Self trusting the big fella to not pick up a third.
Here he is. Yep, with a right hand.
Did he take off from the Bet MGM logo?
Supremely athletic. The kid from Atlanta.
And Notre Dame low side help just was like, yep, you got it.
Yeah.
No posters.
We'll get out of your way. Let you have this moment. Harrelson trying to get some separation. And tout the one to hit that out of bounds, so it goes to Kansas.
You got right here, pick, solid roll, low man help side. Get out the way. What's Burton going to do with that?
Burton learned his lesson earlier with Badunga.
Burton messed with one big. He wasn't going to mess with another.
That was what they call a business decision.
Yep. I'm for that, especially in Vegas.
13-3 run here for Kansas inside of 8 minutes.
Dunga has decided to be active.
And they've been so efficient. Kansas, Candace, has not turned the ball over one time in this ball game.
And it's got to make the basketball purists happy watching these 2 offensive teams move the ball in search of not just a good shot, but a great shot. You've seen paint to great. We've seen it touch the paint by the post players, by the guards. I mean, it's just been an offensive display today.
Right back into number 40. Shot clock inside 5. Council seeking contact. He doesn't get that, but he does get a tough bucket.
And right there, White putting Council Jr. in a tough position, throwing it to him with 3 seconds, but he probably knew better than us. He was going to get a great pink shot look off, just like Coach drew up.
Well, he was a big scorer last year at St. Bonaventure. Harrelson, no answer.
And Notre Dame has gone away from moving the ball, which is what Kansas defense will do. It'll wear on you, especially going amongst the towers. They have to have on this possession the ball touch one side of the floor and then get back into Burton's hand.
Just 1 for their last 11, the Irish from the field. Here's their leader. Burton spinning. Hope for the foul, he didn't get it.
And Irish, unable to capitalize on the switch. They're switching a big on Burton, taking one big away from the offense, and they can't get the ball inside to their other big.
Tiller, 6'11", but he moves so well. Dangerous pass. How'd he get that in there?
I think everybody's surprised. Sometimes that's you don't know where you're passing. The defense doesn't know where you're passing.
Bill Self threw both of his hands up in the air like, what was that? But he got there, and White will go to the line.
As long as White knew he was throwing it to him, that's what matters.
Trey White at the line for Kansas.
8 points already for Trey White. This is the front end. TNT Sports coverage of the Players Era is presented by Lilly, a medicine company, and by Geico. It feels good to Geico.
And Trey White and Badunga both outscoring Notre Dame by themselves. Those two have been a tough duo to stop for Notre Dame's defense.
If you weren't with us the first few minutes, Notre Dame had all the energy and momentum. Got out to the early lead, but that has changed.
With the old saying, your defense impacts your offense impacts your defense.
There was a good offensive move by Sir Mohammed, the sophomore from Charlotte.
As Mohammed is able, the Irish can now set their defense, get in front, not be on their heels, and hopefully build from there.
They continue to double Badunga. Council getting to his spot.
See, this is what a half-court defense does. Kansas isn't in flow. They're able to then now get out in secondary.
Ooh, they got to look for their best shooter.
But you live with that if you're Coach Shrewsbury.
White tries the lob, but Dunga had to grab it over Burton and eventually puts it in the basket.
I've been so impressed today with his ability to stay poised. He could have forced a tough shot. He took his time, patience, and did a crab dribble. And now the Irish are forcing quick shots.
Giving Badunga that jumper, but he's not going to take it. How about that pass? Burton, good hands, though. Up ahead. Burton driving. And he cannot get it.
Right there, Badunga not blocking the shot, but causing issues on the finish. Notre Dame needed this one.
Yeah, Burton stayed back, a little cherry picking, and he lays it up and in. Meanwhile, Kansas had not had a turnover the whole half. They just had them on back-to-back possessions. White behind the back. Everything was pretty but the finish.
And right there, Notre Dame going into this half, you want to feel good on the offensive end. Your defense has done what it's supposed to the last couple possessions. Let's see what your offense can do.
First meeting for these two schools since 1988. It's been that long since Notre Dame and Kansas have met on the hardwood. Jayhawks by 9 here. Shrewsbury can't miss him in those highlighter yellows. Into the shot clock. Burton. Tout with an offensive board.
Tout, an outstanding offensive rebounder. Haven't seen him early in this first half as a result of the twin towers of Tiller and Badunga in this tournament, which I like. Keeps it competitive to the end.
Yeah, these coaches know the importance of the points, of the point differential in this tournament. Something to track. Burton 7. Shrewsbury did hit the 1-3. He's got a couple other looks that he hasn't been able to knock down yet for Notre Dame.
I think a big key for Notre Dame is to continue to lean heavy on your half-court defense. No fouls. And you could possibly get back in this thing and make it a one-possession game going into halftime.
So I'm sure Micah Shrewsbury would be thrilled with at this point. Shot fake. Working around the arc to Council. Tiller. Shot fake. Beautiful. And he'll get to the line for 2.
And as a defender, especially with a 30-second shot clock, start getting a little antsy as the clock ticks down. Kansas patient on this. Tiller capable outside shooter. Jai bounce or bites on the pump fake, and man, what a luxury Coach Self has. Badunga goes out, Tiller comes in, you run your offense through your big.
But that's the difference, right, between Badunga and this guy Tiller. Badunga, he's not going to step out and shoot that 3, but you have to honor that with Tiller.
And Tiller does a great job of not taking bad contested threes. He sells the pump fake, as we've seen in the first half. His monster jam.
Part of such a talented freshman class. Bryson Tiller, 5-star freshman from Atlanta. Try to curl it in there. Ajay threw it away.
And again, Notre Dame cannot capitalize on the mismatch in the paint with a big on a guard.
That's been a story this first half. Now Tiller closer to the bucket. Boy, he can do it all.
Pretty. A little Tim Duncan action. A little crab dribble. Takes his time. That's the thing I love about the Kansas bigs. They're taking their time.
Short on the 3 attempt from Ryder Frost. Trey White gives it up. Council in rhythm. Now it's 4-on-4 right now. Got 2 in the backcourt. So with the extra space, Burton attacks and draws the foul on McDowell.
And right here, Tiller doing a great job. Patience is a superpower. As you see him doing that little crab dribble, you got to respect the middle drive, and then he just gets back to that nice glass. That is one of the sweetest shots if you're a post player. Right off the top of the corner of that glass.
He's got
my favorite shots.
I was going to say, back in the day, you could hit a few of those.
One of my favorite shots.
1-1 here for Burton.
And this could go either way these last 2 minutes. If you're Notre Dame, you got to set your defense. You got to take good shots on the other end. You can't get rushed by Kansas's defense. And the ball has to be in Burton's hands in terms of decision making.
8-point game inside of 2 minutes here in the first. Tiller, strong pass. Look at that ball movement. Wow. What a possession for the Kansas Jayhawks.
A nice buddy pass again. The conversation has been the bigs are under control. They're going to make you pay. They're going to make you pick your own poison.
Ball never touched the floor like a hot potato. Bill Self was nodding his head in approval.
And right here, there's a mismatch with a big away from the basket, but they cannot capitalize on finding their big down low.
In transition to the corner, Jackson, yes! 13-point lead.
Good to great. Council passing up that transition contested three to find a wide open Jackson in the corner.
Notre Dame needed that in a bad way. Shrewsbury with his second.
If you're Shrewsbury, you can take early looks.
Yes, but the others, be more selective. Kansas is going to take that timeout. Use it or lose it here. Coming up, players there at halftime presented by Modelo, Adam Lefkoe, Jalen Rose, Jamal Mashburn, Chris Webber up there waiting in the wings. There's that.
I think a superpower as a big is to have an ability to be poised, but also to make passes and pick apart defenses, especially if you're going to draw the double.
Lob, Badunga with three guys in there. Burton takes it away. Trey White a little slow to get back for Kansas. I think he got hit in the face.
Big three.
Yeah, that's huge. Now you get it down to 7 after the Serta triple. But Trey White's going to go right to the end of the bench.
Trey White going back to the locker room with a towel over his nose. I didn't see the last play where he got hit, but right here, big three, timely three to head into halftime. Serta giving the Irish a little something, what they needed, a little momentum.
I think they might go to the monitor and just see what happened on that Trey White play. Remember Kansas earlier, they lost Jaden Dawson. Now Dawson not a starter, but a key player off the bench. He left with an apparent hand wrist injury. And now Trey White, he goes back to the locker room.
But you got to give it to Notre Dame. There's a number of times where this game could have gotten out of control. Kansas not able to pull away. Timely buckets, stopping momentum. Able to steady the ship a little bit to give the Irish some momentum going into halftime.
Yeah, how big were those two threes? Rutsch, after he throws the pass, Jai, the elbow just clips him right across the face.
Right here, physical screen, Notre Dame switching the pick and roll. Ooh, right across the bridge of your nose. And that is why I quit boxing. Boxing for 1 week. Got hit in the nose and was like, yeah, no more sparring for me.
Wait, when was this?
Back in 2015. I had the crazy idea of doing it. Look at that.
Definitely
all
some
over
blood
the
coming from that nose.
There is nothing like getting hit in the nose. Can't see.
It's a common play. There is no flagrant for Kebajai of Notre Dame, but they wanted to look at it and make sure. Just unfortunate for Trey White, unfortunate for Bill Self. But those 2 threes for Notre Dame coming in the last 31 seconds to kind of give this game a different feel going into the locker room.
100%. And if you're Kansas, who do you go to in the pick and roll with Trey White out? I think you put the ball in the hands of Council. I think you bring up Badunga in a pick and roll, and you put Tiller in the post, in the dunker spot, as we like to call it. Make the defense pick their poison.
Council will set the table. Shot clock off. Pass deflected. 3 seconds. Tiller got a hoist. No. So what was a 13-point lead a minute and a half ago is down to 7.
Pairs combining for 10 of 17 from the field. 23 points, 13 rebounds. They're giving Kansas the advantage on the boards, 24-15. It's been won in the paint in that first half for the Jayhawks.
And White is back on the floor, but they go into Badunga for the bucket, and he continues to provide offense and defense.
I think everybody and their mama, your mama, Notre Dame, knew where the ball was going to go coming out of the first half. Badunga, a great seal. His activity and his ability to play with poise has been crucial for the Jayhawks in this first half.
He's setting the tone for him. Harrelson's been quiet so far, but the very talented freshman gets the bucket there.
And Harrelson is the one that I think has the ability, the size, the strength to go in there amongst the trees of Kansas.
Cole Rosario spinning it back up top. So good to have this guy back out there for Kansas. Had the blood on the jersey. They must have had a backup number 3. Here he is in the corner. And he puts up a floater that's an air ball, so the shot clock didn't reset. Badunga puts it in.
Just anything that is in the paint, that is around the basket, Tiller and Badunga are doing a great job of just giving Notre Dame problems on the glass.
And Micah Shrewsbury said, we have not faced 2 bigs together this year, let alone 2 bigs like Kansas has. That was a concern for them. Tough bucket there by Burton.
And they're going to need Burton to step up. He was huge for them in the early minutes on the offensive end for the Irish. They're also going to have to figure out ways to take advantage of that mismatch. Kansas is switching a post on a guard, which means a guard is guarding a post in the paint.
The other way. Nabil.
Yeah, guys, I talked to Coach Shrewsbury at the half, and he reinforced what you guys were talking about. They need to be better in the paint on both ends of the floor. He thought they were a step slow on their rotations. They didn't have great gap integrity. Offensively, they did attack, but they were trying to score on their initial paint touch. He wants them to attack, hit the paint, kick it out, and then attack again to get the defense scrambling.
It's a tough task against his crew. Blocked. Badunga, another one. He's got 3 today. White on the reverse.
And Kansas again getting out in transition, now able to set their half-court defense, which the Irish have had trouble scoring against. But if you're Notre Dame and you're only down by 9, shooting 35% from the field and 23% from 3, if you can get something going, Harrelson going downhill, Burton, I think you could get some things going. Uh-oh.
Yeah, carry. You don't see that called much anymore.
We got right here, Harrelson getting in there, and Badunga erasing that, and then Council Jr. finding White in transition.
Jayhawks 9-point lead inside of 17 remaining. Council, the distributor. And Tiller is going to draw a foul against Sundra.
And again, Tiller has got the Notre Dame Irish to bite on that pump fake quite a bit. He's a very capable shooter from out there. But the thing I'm most impressed, they are passing up good to get great, which is putting a lot of pressure on this Irish defense. And offensively, you think about a team, both offenses combined only 7 turnovers thus far in this game. So they're taking care of the ball. It's just whether you can get good looks on goal.
Badunga, there's a good look. Strong rebound by Tout. Tout doesn't give them much on offense, but he is one of the best rebounders in the country. In fact, he's the active leader in rebounding in Division I basketball. Burton down the lane, stops on a dime, out to Shrewsbury. Now strong rebound by Tiller. Tiller tried to feed it in, but he threw it wide of his teammate Flory Badunga.
Well, one of the few mistakes that Tiller's made, put the ball on this floor before he realized his buddy, his running mate, had a deep seal. You got to throw it up to the big fella.
But that last possession for Notre Dame, more of what Micah Shrewsbury wants, get it into the paint, then kick it back out.
Yes, but again, there was a little on Tout. I feel like you have to find him rolling to the basket or get a good look up where he could take advantage on the offensive glass. Right there.
There he is.
It's too late.
He is able to score it, though, over Badunga.
And right there, it didn't have to be that hard. You know the roller, you know they're switching. You got to find a way to find your big on that mismatch against a guard.
First points for Tout. Cross-court skip. Council rolls off on it.
And right there, great in, out. They're doubling Badunga. Council ready to knock it down.
Burton with the right on the left side, and we got a 5-point game.
And these Irish silence every run. Whether it's a Tout hustle play, roll to the rim, Burton, steady Eddie.
And Burton, 14 points. Remember, last year he was the 5th leading scorer in the country, folks. He can get you buckets. Double on Tiller. Shot clock inside 5. White. Council. Short. White had it. Is able to secure it. Locked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Jayhawks when we get back.
And right here, the Irish making it a 5-point game. Court and physicality of the Jayhawks, but if they can get a couple threes to go, as we saw them in the half with one, they're only 3 of 13 on the season, shooting 40%. Obviously, you're not going to shoot at that clip, but better than the 23% that they're shooting right now. I think it'll loosen things up.
3rd year for Micah Shrewsbury at the helm of the program. Obviously, all those years, 23 of them with Mike Bray at the helm. It's the first year Micah Shrewsbury says, I've got all my guys. It's his team this year. Kansas with a shot clock inside 5, and a foul is going to be called on Carson Tout.
Tout doing a little bit of everything to try to get around Badunga. Badunga has done a great job of sealing. You talk about this numbers to your passer. Tout going underneath the pass. I don't know about that. I don't know how you guard Badunga if you call that.
And Candace, that's 3 on Tout. They cannot afford to lose their big man. Council knocks down the 3 on a great pass from number 3, Trey White.
And I love the confidence, the point towards the bench. You know, one of the coaches probably told him to keep shooting. Missed a couple early catch and shoots in this second half, but knocked that one down.
It's a great score at St. Bonaventure last year. Different role this year at Kansas for Council, more of a facilitator. Burton has it stripped, and it went off his leg. Good defense from Bryson Tiller.
Right here, Kansas, the ball touches both sides of the floor. Penetration, catch and shoot. Council knocks it down. He's 1 of 4. That was his lone 3-pointer. So I love a guy that doesn't pass down an open shot. There are good shots you have to take for the offense.
Badunga against Tout, remember, playing with 3 fouls. White looking to create. Council again. Back to back.
Same spot. confidence is unbelievable, especially as a shooter. When you have the confidence of your team and they're telling you to shoot, then you're able to knock those 2 huge threes down.
That one does drop for Harrelson to stop the mini run for Kansas. The Council, he had been struggling. He was 1 of 13 from deep on the year coming into today, and Bill Self said he just needs to see it go through the basket. And he has. Tiller, he puts it through the basket.
And that right there, the ball touches the baseline for your post player. The other post player dives down the middle, and good luck stopping that cut.
Burton had 2 twin towers there. They find Harrelson. That's one Achilles heel in that young man's game. He has not been able to find his range outside.
Right here, Kansas, what a luxury to have a guard that can pass, but also 2 bigs that find each other. There have been a number of assists tonight that have been big to big. It's just been fun watching that front court develop over these last couple games. I feel like they know where one another are, and that's a luxury. Both of them are going to draw doubles. Both of them are going to be relied on to make decisions with the ball in their hands, and they've done an amazing job for this Kansas Jayhawks offense, especially with Peterson out.
Yeah, it felt like they grew up against Duke without Peterson, and I think you're seeing that continue today.
And if you're Peterson, you're watching this, and you're seeing the fact that they're going to have to put 2 on you at times, and you're going to have to trust your teammates and their decision-making.
Well, nobody stopped Burton. Right to the rim for number 3.
And that was smooth right there. And again, right back in it. Irish seem like they're countering every Jayhawks run.
They got a chance to draw it even closer. Sundra in the corner. Got a good look. McDowell, no hesitation. Micah Shrewsbury always so animated over there directing traffic. Great coach, learned under Brad Stevens. Matt Painter, been in the NBA with the Celtics under Brad Stevens. Down inside, Sundra almost traveled and then got it blocked.
And the length of Kansas again. Tiller coming help side, blocking that shot.
Council. Ooh. But the last 2 look good. That one, somebody opened the barn door.
It was from a different spot.
That's true.
Last 2 came from the left side.
So crafty, Marcus Burton.
This young man.
He's going to stay on the floor for now. They've been dinged up today. Remember, White left, came back. Still haven't seen Jaden Dawson since he exited in the first half. Harrelson gets to his spot, but Badunga erases it again. He's got 5 of those today. Bounces around. Muhammad somehow grabs it. What a battle. Shrewsbury.
Ball finds the shooter, but the Irish doing a great job. They've lived off the offensive glass. It's been tough early with this Kansas length, but second chance points is what they want. Play it through those block shots.
Kansas, it is down to 4.
And the Notre Dame bench off their feet, cheering their guys on for their no quit on that possession.
Such a scrappy team. McDowell drives a bump against Braden Shrewsbury. Well, Micah Shrewsbury, one word that he always uses about his teams, be it at Penn State when he was there or now at Notre Dame, he said he wants them to be gritty, the tougher team. And you're seeing that toughness on display.
And must I say, to be the coach's kid, I think those that have been can relate. How difficult that must be to have your father as the coach. You know everything is your fault.
He's got another son that is going to be there next year. Nicholas, a shooting guard, is committed to Notre Dame in the 26 class as well.
But it also says a lot about you as a father when your sons want to come, they want to play for their father, they want to be a part of that legacy. There's nothing like it. Make it a family affair. I'm for it.
Harrelson showing much more aggression in this second half. Muhammad with a little hook.
Muhammad, not known to knock down the outside shot, does a great job. Goes inside where he's more comfortable. Gets Notre Dame within 4.
Under 8 minutes. And the Jayhawks cough it up. Muhammad leads the break. Out to Serta. Well, they got the look they wanted.
And I know your arm has to be sore because every big shot.
I like you, that little chicken wing.
I elbow you a little bit.
Baduga taken away. Muhammad stripped it. Harrelson gets stripped on the other end. 2-on-1. Tiller for 2.
Bryson, Tiller.
And
how about this action?
You got to live with the decision making in the full court. When the game opens up and it speeds up, sometimes you're going to turn the ball over. I love the effort and the grit of both teams.
Good crowd in here. This one developing a good feel. Muhammad, no. Tiller to the block, fading. That is pretty.
And right there, Coach Shrewsbury calls timeout immediately. That was a pretty bump fade to the outside right. This team was up against a tough task, and the physicality of
Sorry for the audio issues. We are back. Tout missed it near the rim, and we will head the other direction.
And again, Tout doing a great job taking on the smaller defender on the other end, but unable to get the little bunny to go.
Approaching the 5-minute mark. White had a big first half and missed that in and out. It did everything but drop.
This is a big possession for Notre Dame right here. The ball's got to stay in Burton's hands.
He gives it up, almost threw it into the backcourt. Burton has 22. He's looking for more. Step back, blocked. What defense from McDowell.
McDowell taking on the challenge, not going for pump fake, staying down.
And look at that pass. And Tiller with a flush.
And this is like hitting rewind on the tape. How many buddy passes have we seen where it's gone from post to post? Interior passing has been on display today.
Shrewsbury silences the Kansas faithful.
And once again, they will not go away.
That was the first 3 this half for Notre Dame. They had missed their first 9. They continue to hang around. Tiller. Now Badunga.
Ooh, looked like he sheltered his feet a little bit there.
Now the Notre Dame bench agrees with you. The ball doesn't lie, though. He misses the shot.
And Tout a number of times has taken on the challenge. I understand Badunga has had his way today, but his ability to hedge on screens and get back has been remarkable this second half.
Here is Tout. Left it short, battling, almost tapped it back in.
And right there, this matchup underneath between Sundra and Badunga, you've got to think that Kansas has got to exploit it as they bring the ball out.
White waits for the screen. Behind the back. McDowell. Big three for the Jayhawks from Jamari McDowell.
A big defensive play on one end, blocking Burton, and then coming down on the next a couple possessions later and hitting a big three.
Yeah, a couple of big plays, you're right.
And a lot of that has to do with being calm, controlled, not taking difficult, contested, physical shots, cutting at the right time, knowing one another. You add Peterson back into the mix, this Kansas team could be scary.
Darren Peterson out this tournament with a hamstring strain, but definitely going to be a lottery pick next year. So much talent for him.
Well, they're definitely going to need him back as their schedule coming up. As Harrelson finishes at the basket, their schedule coming up. You talk about Notre Dame, Syracuse, UConn, Mizzou, NC State over the next 3 weeks. They're going to be tested.
And the next one after this will be that UConn game on December 2nd. You wonder if they'll get Peterson back for that. No word on a timetable for him right now.
And Notre Dame trying to speed up the clock, not allowing Kansas to take its time. And Tiller.
That's a gamble because he's a good three-point shooter. They left him, but he missed it. Shrewsbury, how big would this be? A little flat. And now you got to start thinking about the clock here. You're approaching 90 seconds. And Notre Dame has fouls to give. Both teams do.
And Shrewsbury coming in hot, shooting nearly 40% from beyond the arc. And today knocking down just 3 of 9. If you're Notre Dame, you could get 1 or 2 of those to go. They've made runs. But now I think they have to go for threes. They can't just settle for 2s anymore.
Trouble getting it in. Timeout is going to be taken by Bill Self.